Greetings, Rainbow Warriors of the New Earth Tribe. We are here and we are rising up. The Blue Dawn is being activated. Welcome to the Red Moon Wave Spell, the 17th wave spell of the Dream Spell journey. I uploaded a video earlier today, a transmission specifically on this wave spell and the prophetic goddess energies coming through. So if you haven't watched that, please watch that now. 1771 fully coming in. When I walked in the back door just before, a little before starting this recording, it was 7:17 p.m. So the 717 contains the 7, the 17, the 71, and the 77. And this 17 energy has been coming through for many people, especially with this Q energy, this Q collective. So there's a few things I wanted to cover before we get started on today's transmissions. Very powerful transmissions today on these new earth energies coming in. We had a lot of activity today on the Schumann resonance chart. A lot of interesting patterns and white blasts of energy as these light frequencies coming in. And the highest spike was at 30 hertz. I know last night was a very intense, many of us experienced this, these higher light frequencies and higher codes coming in. I was up most of the night till at least 5 a.m. and I was going through a lot of timeline jumps, a lot of quantum leaps of consciousness. It was midnight and then it was 2 a.m. and then 3 and then 5. Even today, through the whole day, it was like time was leaping ahead. And we're all experiencing these weird time anomalies and accelerations of time, either speeding up or slowing down, and all these different manifestations. We had many earthquakes, 151 in the past 24 hours, M5.1 or greater. The largest is 6.0 in the Philippines. The whole ring of fire activated in Puerto Rico every day. Multiple earthquakes. We had a 3.2 earlier today in Puerto Rico, 4.5 in Indonesia, 4.2 magnitude in Greece, 4.1 in China, 4.8 Indonesia. Guadalupe had 4.6, Alaska 3.0, several in Alaska today. Another one in China, 4.5 about an hour ago. And then about a half hour ago in Puerto Rico, 3.5. So this whole Stargear 8 grid lines are being activated as these portals are opening and these activations and the Ascension energies are manifesting through these energy frequencies. Also, we've been seeing a lot of strange activity, of course, in the weather and in nature, especially with the animal kingdom. Almost every day I'm seeing things posted about, biblical type events like these, thousands of crows gathering and then, apocalyptic skies turning red. Almost every day there's, and these references to biblical or apocalyptical, because people see in these different, like the Revelation talking about the end times and, this pestilence and this rising up of earth changes and stuff like that. So today I saw an article posted that over 300,000 bats, they called it a bat tornado, and a lot of these things are following with the Mandela effect where these strange things are happening that, no one's ever heard of these things before. So it was like a tornado of bats over, I think they said 300,000 in Australia, which is, I think, north of Queensland, and these bats have some form of rabies. So it's a strange phenomenon in this one area, and they're taking over this whole area. So it's just more of these mysteries that are manifesting. Just, to me, they're synchronicities and signs. We call them omens. The omens are like the non-physical or higher dimensionals giving us signs through nature, through the animal kingdom and things like this. And nature knows exactly what she's doing, Pachamama. So there's a reason for everything, which most of these are beyond human comprehension and understanding. But we see the symbolism and the synchronicities with all these things. I also saw, these swarm of locusts. So you see those in a lot of biblical references. So obviously these ancient Bible codes and the Gnostics that foresaw and had these prophecies of this revelation where all things are being revealed, and apocalyptic, which is the unveiling of that which is hidden. So this is all part of this ascension process of what many are calling the Great Awakening, or the event that these energies rising up through the natural order, the natural law, the laws of nature. And some people call these the Galactic Codex, which is fully activated. So there was, I think they said 500 billion estimated locusts in, I think it was, Eastern Africa and part of the Middle East that's devouring all these farmlands. And I know, based on research in the past and through friends that are in agriculture, that when there's a problem with nutrients in the soil and a problem with too many, or basically plants being sick or diseased, that nature will send in massive amounts of insects to devour it, and then the waste of them puts different nutrients back in the soil. And that's one of the reasons there was a massive epidemic, I think in the 50s, when George Washington Carver, he went to all these cotton farmers in the South, and the cotton was pulling too many nutrients out of the soil. You're supposed to rotate crops for, to propagate and for healthy soils and healthy plants. And it was, I think, it's some type of boll weevil that was going in and devouring all the cotton fields. So George Washington Carver realized, he was a biologist, a PhD, brilliant guy, that he went and taught these cotton farmers how to grow peanuts. That's where he came up with like 100 uses for peanuts, like peanut butter and, peanut oil and all this stuff, because the peanut would put the nutrients into the soil that he taught them how to rotate the crops and that. So part of what I wanted to talk about, so I try to keep these transmissions under a half hour due to time limitations, because the longer these videos, the longer it takes. Even with a half hour transmission, it's a couple hours between recording, editing, uploading, and whatnot. So I try to keep these around a half hour, but sometimes I go off on tangents and ride the waves of the energies. There's a lot of energy and information coming in right now. So I'm going with different flows and different timeline jumps, because all these timelines, as they're merging, it's bringing in new information, new codes, and new activations. But one thing I want to clarify, or make more complicated, depending on how it's interpreted, because this whole realm is about perception. This 3D matrix is manifest based on our perceived reality, or our internal map of reality. Everything is an extension and expansion out from consciousness, from the still white magnetic light at the center. So something I spoke about yesterday rose a question about, and I think it had something to do with the Star Nations working with humanity through this ascension, and someone asked about free will. And when we start talking about this concept of free will, or belief in free will, or perception that we have a free will, and this is very philosophical. So if you really contemplate and try to comprehend even the concept of free will, we don't really know what that even means, but we have our perception that says, okay, it means that I have a choice in life, or I have the will, the freedom to use my will to navigate and make changes and whatnot. So we have this concept, and this is a huge assumption on the human mind to even believe that we have a free will. I'm not saying we don't, but I'm saying that there's really no way to prove that we do. And this is along the lines of what people believe in the concepts of creator, or that what we call source. So that's where these concepts of faith come in. I have faith that I have free will. I have faith that there is a creator, that there is this intelligence behind all life. But part of us seeking the truth and questioning reality, because part of this quest is questioning everything. And these are things that I've contemplated since I was a small child and spent years and years researching and reading thousands of books and sitting at the feet of many masters and training in multiple lineages to come to where I am today, putting together all the philosophies and spiritual practices and knowledge and information to create my own philosophy, which is a conglomerate of this convoluted universe, 844 coming through. So the ancient Taoists, they created a book, one of the most famous books and most important out of China is the Yi Ching, and this is, I believe, several thousand years old, and the Yi Ching has several translations, and you can spend a lifetime researching. I've spent many years and read many books, listened to many lectures, teaching from the masters, the Taoist masters, the Buddhists, and the Yi Ching has multiple translations, but it's been translated either as the Book of Change or the Book of Fortune. So we say the Book of Fortune. Fortune used to mean the future, just like a fortune teller. Now people think fortune. A lot of times they think of financial fortune, like being wealthy. And the image that I put on this video, because of these golden age energies coming in and this abundance energy, this symbolizes, with the rainbow and the golden colors, this golden age of infinite abundance for humanity. And like they would say, the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, which is symbolic in many ways. So I thought that it was appropriate for some of the transmissions that'll come through today. So this fortune, this Book of Fortune, the Yi Ching, it was 64 codes. And this is where the gene keys from Richard Rudd, he got them from the Yi Ching. And it's I, the letter I, and then CHING. I is pronounced in Chinese like Yi, Yi Ching. That there were 64 codes, and that's where yin yang, some of the original teachings of yin yang, which is obviously the black and white, masculine, feminine, the duality. And the guy that came up with the binary codes for computers got the concept from the Yi Ching. And we realize today, with many years of researching DNA in the human and all physical life form, the DNA, it's double strand, and it's 3232, creating 64 codes. They call them codons. So they realized that these ancients kind of understood, because with 64 codons, it's infinite life. It's all life on the planet is based on 64 codes, and it's virtually infinite. So they realized that with these codes, there's 64 and there's 6 lines per code. And a solid line is yang, the masculine. A broken line is yin, just like binary code 1 and 0. So the 1 would be the solid line, the yang, the masculine. The broken line would be the 0 in binary code, which is the feminine. It's yin. And it's really a switch. It's on, off, on, off. It's quantum. It's a quanta that reality, or what we experience as reality, fluctuates between emptiness and form at such a quick rate. It's a pulse that it appears to our senses, our 5 senses, that things appear to be solid and appear to be stable and appear to be moving, when it's really a simulated solidity, a simulated motion. And Walter Russell speaks of this in The Secret of Light. So the ancients realized that based on these 64 codes, they can tell your future, just like a fortune teller. So the Taoist masters realized that if I could tell your future, that virtually your whole life story is written in stone. It's in your DNA. It's a code. And they realize, okay, if I'm in this, what the ancients called Maya, we now call the Matrix, the simulation. Is there a way to free ourselves? And this is where the alchemists came out of this concept. The Ascension, the ascended masters, what we call rainbow body, converting lead to gold. All these concepts, the alchemists were trying to discover how to free themselves from this simulation and from this story, or from our code, the code of the Matrix, the code of Maya, because they realize that until you wake up or free yourself, that you really do not have free will. So this concept of free will and having it is a great assumption, and it could be a trick of the mind too, to make us feel comfortable or make us feel like we have a choice. But it's like George Carlin used to joke about. He would say, the only choice you have in this world is between paper and plastic. So and they took half of that. They're taking half of that choice away. So now you have paper or bring your own freaking bag. So, and I don't agree or disagree with anything. It's just, we just laugh at this realm because of people taking everything so serious. And obviously we need to navigate through this world in a congruent way and cohesive ways. But sometimes we get very serious about something that's not even real, and people want to debate and argue if something's real, what is reality, what's not reality, and they'll be debating forever. I mean, I can come up with infinite questions, and just like quantum physics will say, every choice you have, there's an A and a B. So for instance, you're driving down the road and you get to the end of the street, you have the choice to go left or you have the choice to go right. In one timeline, you choose left, and one timeline, you choose right. Both are lived out. Your consciousness stays in the timeline that you choose in this story, in this timeline. But quantum physics will say you also, in another timeline, chose right. So you actually live out both timelines. Your consciousness stays in this one. So did you really make the choice? Or did you make both choices, or all choices you could have went straight to? So now there's a third choice. So that creates a third timeline. And this is a mind game. But these are things that we need to contemplate, because the thing is, when we go into the fear of, is this right or is this wrong? Or am I losing my free will? We get caught up in the story to where it prevents us from fulfilling our mission, or prevents us from taking the path that would be of our highest abundance or awareness. But ultimately, we drop all these concepts and take action. And there's nothing right or wrong about contemplating reality or truth, or contemplating about the simulation. But ultimately, it's all nonsense. We drop it all and we experience our oneness with all things through our heart center. So that's part of this ascension process, is releasing all concepts, knowing that everything we speak of and experience and think we understand are concepts pointing to the truth, but the I am presence that's here now in this body, in this awareness, is the truth, and everything else is adding to the truth. And with that, we'll start our first transmission, which is from Laura Pleiadian. Being an ascended master, incarnating to be as your eternal, divine God self, while in a form on earth, is the process of your return to your original light. That is, you as your divine, ascended being, a divine, ascended master, embodying and recognizing that which is eternal as you, allowed through grace your transformation to be experienced with great ease. Harmony, your state of being without resistance to the present moment, what is the very process of recognizing the eternal God self, you. When we let go of when and step into now, miracles unfold through us. When we are not in the moment, we live through time. Why me and why not me now? We resist the very blessing to which our divine ascended being exists through. Being present and being anchored in your eternal awareness is the ever-expanding process through your heart space that you are living through more and more. Welcoming and recognizing yourself beyond time aligns you with your God self, the very essence that is the power of your transformation that you desire. We live and breathe throughout eternity as the very God self design that is you through your breath. Take hold of this moment through your heart. It captures the eternal beauty of your ascended being. It is you. You are shifting now. The plan of return to your original light is foolproof. It is the very light of eternity itself. It is you. It is the God self. It is the eternal alignment as the divine Godhead. It is glory, and it is now. It is the eternal heaven that is the consciousness of divinity. Breathing this in all now, we enter the sacred union, the conscious consciousness. We are in love and glory. From Laura Pleiadian, the new divinehumanity.com. So part of this concept of having faith and hope and dreams is about letting go, about not taking ourselves too seriously, that we cannot fail. There is no failure in eternity. There is no death. Only fear dies, the false self. Alan Watts used to say that you cannot die because you were never born. You just don't remember who you are. You know, your body was born, your story was born, but the Zen masters say, what is your face before your parents were born? Who were you before you came into this realm, into this existence, into Maya, into the illusion, into the simulation? And that is the process, returning to self, or the great awakening, reconnecting, remembering, rebirthing, and bringing into this realm our highest self, our highest light, our highest codes, our true nature, our true awareness beyond the duality. And from Lisa Marie Wright through Ascension Energies, welcome home. A new day has dawned. Her story and his story is over. Our story now begins. We have been through it all and have learned all that we needed to from the human experience. We are free to fully love and live again. Our love has restored it all. Welcome to the new golden age of abundance of all forms. Lack, struggle, suffering, division, competition, codependency, control is over. Let it all go. A new world of freedom, abundance, love, peace, joy, bliss, balance, harmony, unity, wholeness has been birthed. A challenging journey from survive to thrive. We did it. Celebrate your accomplishments. We are shining brilliantly. Keep glowing. Let your magnificent, glorious, radiant, unique love light shine. We are the greatest shift of consciousness that has ever occurred, the greatest love story ever told, and together we have birthed a whole new reality. Thank you for being here now as love and shining brilliantly. Together we have liberated Earth and humanity. Freedom forevermore. Shine now. Lisa Marie Wright. And from the Galactic Federation of Light and Yukaran, what is happening is beyond the comprehension of a 3D mind still working inside the duality paradigm. The Galactic Codex is already the law in this solar system and is being fully implemented by the Galactic Federation of Light. The majority of the battles are still happening in the 4D astral etheric planes. The ones against the universal laws of this universe still have an option to accept and embrace the light, but they have to make agreements to work on their own deeds and karma. Please understand that this happens at a soul level, not biased by judgments from a corrupted 3D mind. Or they accept and embrace light, or they will be eventually removed. Justice arrived and peace will be made. From our current perspective, just focus on your center and send unconditional love to all beings still present on this planet Earth. And again, there's the concept of the Galactic Codex, the universal law. We call the law of one, or the one law, which is the connection of all life in all realms and all timelines, the unity, the oneness of all life, the equality of all life, and that is also the golden rule. Today from Astro Mama, full moon in Leo, a rush of passion plus courage, sacred play, your heart is the ultimate compass. On February 8th and 9th, the moon becomes full at 20 degrees of Leo. Full moons are always highly emotional and charged. They represent endings, culmination, and harvest time. Leo, the fifth zodiac sign, is passionate, creative, courageous, prideful, and loving. The full moon in Leo is here to bring a manifestation of pure, fiery power and prowess into our lives. We will be all revved up to get out and express our deepest heart's desires with La Luna full in the sign of the lion. This is an excellent time to put the finishing touches on a creative or artistic project. Leo energy wants to be fully expressed, seen, and heard. It's one of the sign's most endearing qualities, but at the same time it can be its downfall. Passion will be fun and encouraged, but we will have to watch for the tendency to be a little drama queens and kings. A healthy sense of self is emerging, but we will be reminded to still keep our intentions humble, grounded, and pure. The other reason this full moon is so passionate and hot is the full moon's positive 120-degree trine to Mars in Sagittarius. Mars in astrology represents drive, ambition, aggression, and sexual energy. The full moon in Leo in harmony with Mars in Sagittarius will provide a spark of incredible drive and ambition. We will be ready to accomplish with this combo. The one thing to watch out for will be the tendency to fly off the handle and be overly aggressive within our emotional reactions. Channeling this fiery passion into play, whether it be with an artistic pursuit or in the bedroom, will be a better use of this pair's combined energies. Flames of passion and pleasure will certainly be our go with this aspect. The full moon in Leo is here to warm your heart and inspire your soul. Leo actually rules the heart. This full moon will ask you to hold your deepest passions and yearning in a space of sacred flow and honor. It doesn't matter what others want or desire, but it is your birthright to respect and hold space for your own wants and pursuits. It is time to step out of the mind and drop down to the fourth chakra. What could you accomplish if you took the time to listen to your heart? Are you truly honoring her song of love and encouragement? It is time to break free from complacency and step into a new space of courageous love and healing. This Leo full moon wants you to follow your bliss. She is here to bring an awakening of your own divine love, play, plus fun, and the courage and the willpower to make everything and anything a reality. And that's from Astro Mama. And today, the first day of the Red Moon Wave Spell is Kin 209, power of 11, the red magnetic moon. Magnetic is the name for the number 1, and its keywords are unify, attract, and purpose. The red moon wave spell is the first and the last castle of the Zolkin, which is a 52-day period consisting of 4 wave spells. The Zolkin divides into 5 castles. This last castle is called the Green Central Castle of Enchantment. It contains the red moon, white wind, blue eagle, and yellow star wave spells. Today, just as with every new wave spell, contemplate its agenda and mentally prepare yourself for this 13-day journey. Today is red moon, which represents purify, flow, and universal water. We have 13 days of going with the flow, ahead of which sounds laid back and relaxing, and it mostly is chilled out, but only if you surrender. This means letting go of control, or to be more precise, admitting that you have no control. When the moon is in charge, we are powerless against its influence. Allow events to take a natural course, and try not to let your ego take over and run things. And sometimes a course might seem like a curse, but that's why we go with the flow, to release all concepts of being trapped in some kind of curse or some kind of simulation, because part of the simulated reality and feeling like a prisoner of time is our perception that feels like a prisoner of time, or of timelines or time loops. But that's part of the trick of the Matrix, is to believe, to instill a belief of being powerless and weak and self-condescending, you could call abusive, self-abuse or self-loathing. These are some of the concepts that come out of this automatic negative thinking process. The brain trapped in this cycle of automatic negative thinking. Sometimes it takes great willpower to free ourselves, or to break free of the control mechanism that keeps the internal dialogue flowing in a negative pattern or a false pattern. So that's why the power of a positive mindset is very powerful through this awakening process. So today, from Christina Papagiorgio, red magnetic moon, kin 209, 6 February 2020, 622020, 6222 equals 66, equal 12, equal 3. So we have the 222 energy coming in. Actually, every day this month is a 222, but that this transforms in the 66. You know, the 12, the 6 being heaven, Christ consciousness, harmony, family. 66, or the 66, is divine Christ gate. 3 is the Holy Trinity, joy, creativity. Kin 209 equal 11. Portal, duality, doorway, partnership. 1 is 2, meaning partnership, cooperation. A very powerful feminine gateway today, flowing into our new reality. Today is the first day in our 13-day journey through the wave spell of Muluk, the red moon, who holds the power of the goddess. Muluk carries the codes for heightening our sensitivity, psychic powers, and intuition through the water element, our emotions, and our spiritual body. The yellow warrior fearlessly showed us the path through our quest to find New Earth, and now the goddess is taking the lead. Her universal waters seek to cleanse and purify our vessels and prepare us to bring more flow into our lives. Today are we setting the tone for this cycle that is setting forth our purpose and intention for that which you wish to flow into your reality. Tone of creation. Magnetic is the tone number 1 in the spiritual realm. As we initiate a new wave spell cycle. Yes, I'm still learning how to talk. The power attracts action, unifies essence, purpose. Day 1 of a new wave spell always starts with the magnetic tone of purpose. In the beginning was the One. From out of nothing here One comes, spinning happily, magnetizing all that it requires for more excellent adventuring. One strong in purpose, all will effortlessly come together. The magnetic tone is all about attraction, attracting everything that you require to fill your purpose and your desires, people, resources, relationships, money, support, and all that you can imagine. Today we are seeking to attract more flow into our lives so that we can continue moving forwards with ease and grace, gently, 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 flowing down the stream of our new life. The attraction seeks to unify all as one as we collectively manifest our new 5D Earth together. Magnetic kin have a very strong connection to Source and a gravitational pull to return there and bring all their buddies with them. The power of one is very strong today as it unites us all as one humanity. This will also be the theme for this wave spell, unification through the power of the goddess. So, beloveds, a divine goddess day to unite, magnetize, and attract a more nurturing and abundant flow in your life. The river is nearing the ocean, and abundant resources are now flowing forth. Believe, and you shall receive. Ready, set, go, goddess. Today's question is, what do I need to purify, release in order to magnetically attract the infinite flow of Terra Nova's blessings? Divine blessings for the beautiful journey through the eternal river of life. Kin 209, red, magnetic moon. The mantra, the code for today is, I unify in order to purify. Attracting flow, I seal the process of universal water. With a magnetic tone of purpose, I am guided by the power of my own power doubled. So we are doubling, tripling, and quadrupling our power through these 22 powerful gateways of this magnificent year of great awakening. Let us know, beloved ones, in the comments below what you're seeing, what you're feeling, what you're experiencing. And when you connect with us and our team through these daily transmissions, know that you are connecting in this process with our star families, the star nations. And our star families are witnessing and seeing what you're posting in the comments and below these videos. these transmissions and energies coming through are an experiment. They're a test to see where the collective consciousness is at. And as they keep growing and building, it lets the higher dimensions know, although they're looking into this realm from a higher dimension, there's still a process that's unfolding to prepare humanity, especially, what we're calling the collective consciousness, or people that are still totally asleep in the dream of the Matrix. So this could be a challenging time for many people. And as light workers and way showers and warriors of the light, it is up to us to assist humanity through this process. That is part of our mission, to assist those that are still totally asleep, those that are still under the control or hypnotism of the false 3D matrix. These energies that are coming now are to assist us and all of humanity, the collective, in rising this whole realm, raising the frequency, raising the energy, rising up through the still waters of consciousness into the light, into the air, into the sky, into the cosmic collective consciousness of the eternal unborn mind of Buddha, Christos, Yahweh, Allah, whatever name you want to give to source energies, it is fine. These are all symbols and concepts that connect us to source, that relink us, reunite through this separation simulation into the original mind, or the God self, the Godhead, it's been called, which is our true nature. And this is shining through the veil as the veils lift. These energies are manifesting through our sacred vessel, through our avatar. So many of us feel like we're in between worlds because we're shifting between the peak and the crest, the wave, the valley and the peak, the mountain, the high peak and the low valley, and everywhere in between, the 50 shades of gray in between the black and the white. So we're navigating through all these realms as we're being activated, all the codes of the 12-strand crystalline DNA being activated with the silicon, the oxygen-based 12-strand 5D crystalline being fully activated in our sacred vessels. So we're feeling this transmutation, this transformation in many, many different ways. So let us know in the comments also what you're experiencing through this ascension in your body, your mind, your spirit, what you're seeing through the eyes of your spirit, what you're seeing with your vision, what you see shining through for the new earth manifestation. So thank you for joining us today, beloved beings of light. I love you all. Namaste.